Good morning, everyone. It is indeed an honor and privilege to be able to be here and stand with you, Kinship Care providers, here at our Statehouse on behalf of our Mayor, Stephen K. Benjamin, and the members of City Council and your capital city of Columbia. So as I was thinking about the remarks and why this issue is so very important and why particularly I would like to be able to be here and stand with you is I was kind of thinking Kinship Care, although the term itself may be new, it's not new in our country, it's not new in our state. And I had to think about my mother, or actually go back to my great-grandmother, who had 15 children, one of which my grandmother, after she graduated from high school in Neal, South Carolina, could not find a job to support her and her 3 children when her husband was off in the military. So she chose to go to New York to make more money and be able to send back to her mother, who was raising her 3 children, my aunt, my uncle, and my mom, who was the youngest of 3. So my great-grandmother raised my mom while my grandmother lived in New York, and then sent money back to South Carolina. Back then, we didn't call it kinship care. It was just taking care of your own. We as families do what we have to do to make sure that we keep our family together and that we are productive. But fast forward 70 years. I have a very good friend who her brother passed away, and the mother of her brother's children had some mental health issues. DSS got involved, and she stepped up to take care of her niece and nephew because, again, we as families, we do what we have to do. But as she became the placement for her niece and nephew, she discovered that financially, as a single woman, she was not able to go from being a single person taking care of herself to being a mother of 2 and having all the responsibilities and financial commitments that go with raising 2 children. There is no reason why she should not be able to access the same resources that our state gives other folks who are not related and do not have that familiar relationship with these children. My friend found it easier to ask for the mother of her niece and nephew to allow her to terminate her parental rights and her adopt the children so that she would be able to get the resources to help raise these children. And so when I think about that situation, again, kinship care, it's no different than my great-grandmother raising her grandchildren and recognizing that she needed to do what she needed to do to keep those children together. But back then, she didn't have the resources, but she just made it happen. Now, with financial resources or financial challenges, with the school commitments, everything, it makes it difficult for family members, although willing, sometimes aren't financially able to do it. But your advocacy, your being here, the work of Sisters of Charity and others, making sure that our voices are heard, we can make sure that kinship care providers are not just given the emotional and structural resources, but they also have the financial resources and the support and able to keep families together. So for that reason, we at the City of Columbia, although we can't change the state law, we can stand with you and we can help advocate for changes to the state law. So the mayor, members of City Council have directed our lobbyist, the person who lobbies on behalf of the City of Columbia's issues, to make sure that this bill stays on the forefront and that we continue to push forward our support on the state level to make sure that bills and policies that are put forth on the state level to support kinship care providers not only pass, but pass with the resources necessary to support families. We also have introduced a resolution, and so every single year that you're here, we will be here with you, and we will make sure that we have a resolution memorializing the City of Columbia's support, not just for kinship care providers, but the entire system, as Director Meacham says, that continues to keep families and children in successful outcomes. So with that said, I thank you all for all the work that you do. I thank the Sisters of Charity for the work that they do, and I continue to want to stand with you until we make sure that every single kinship care provider has the resources that they need to make sure that children and families are supported in our state. Thank you, and God bless.